Hi, everybody. Good evening. For those of you who don't already know me, I'm Amanda Phillips. I'm the new board president of the James Renwick Alliance for Craft, or as we like to call it, JRACraft. Welcome to our annual meeting. Um, I'm really excited to share everything tonight with all of you. It's a complicated time out there for our organizations in this country, as we know. I'm glad to say that JRACraft is weathering the storm really well. And Jennifer Scanlan, our executive director, will begin the evening with all the work that was accomplished since we last gathered here and all the programs we've been able to present to our members and to the public, of course. Then you'll see the financial picture, which is looking pretty good, and hear who won the Chrysalis Award for Emerging Artists, which we're excited to tell you about. And after that exciting moment of artist support, it's going to be time to show you how JRA is moving forward through initiatives and partnerships and a whole slew of programming that you're going to want to be a part of. It's always the most fun part of the annual meeting. We're looking forward to the future, and it looks bright. And that future couldn't happen with the help of our incredible team. Jennifer, as I mentioned, has now been on board since summer of 2024 and has a sharp focus on what this organization is and how to move forward. You'll hear a lot of her ideas and plans tonight. Jennifer has an able staff here in DC working part-time, although you'd never know it, and filling every hour for us. A great thank you to Inga Bragadorda. I think I got that right. Who's the marketing and operation coordinator. And I want to also thank Perry, our membership and programs coordinator, because without the two of them, we couldn't do it. Huge thanks to all of you who are working so hard for JRACraft every single day. This is a remarkable and large dedicated board, as you can see on the slide that we just showed. And they have already, since my own induction in July, put in a massive numbers of hours for JRACraft through many committees and so many events. Insanely dedicated to our mission and to our organization's success and growth, I'm honored to preside over this group of people. If you're a current board member and to the staff, please wave. And I think we're going to give you the opportunity, and Inga's going to make it so we can all see everybody waving.
Yeah, Inga,
We've
can
got
you
a lot of great staff, amazing board of directors. So everybody deserves a huge thank you for the work that they put in this year. And of course, to those of you online who have served for JRACraft before in any capacity, we're really happy to see you tonight and thank you for what you've done for us. And once everybody's finished waving, we're going to move on, and Jennifer is going to present our year in review.
There we go. Yeah, you can advance it to the next slide, Inga. All right. So we're going to take a look at the numbers. We have, for those of you who know JRACraft well, and for those of you who are just coming to, I know we've got some new people on. I would say the bulk of our public facing work is in the programs we do. They're in talks and demos and events. And here are some pictures from this year's talks, demos, and events. We had a total of 24 programs, 1,404 participants. Of those, we were able to offer 9 free programs for a total of 960 people. Next slide. One of the important program series we do is the Distinguished Artist Series, and this is some feedback that we got from one of our featured Distinguished Artist Series artists, Ted Lott. He said, everyone at JRA went out of their way to make me feel welcome. Attendance at the event was more than I expected, standing room only, which it was. You can only see half of the room in this particular photo, and it was wonderful to meet the members, curators, artists, collectors, and many others who came out for the event. Next slide, please. We also offer trips in the US and abroad, and last year that included South Africa, and there's a great photo of the travel group there from spring 2025. And this summer we also went to Asheville to help support the institutions in Western North Carolina who had suffered under Hurricane Helene. And there we are at the Penland auction. Next slide. We also continue to offer summer courses in craft history. These are the 4 courses we offered last summer. We had a total of 113 students, and we were able to offer 12 scholarships to these classes. Next slide. Here's feedback from one of the students who took the class with Namita Wiggers, who's shown there on the right. I loved the deep dive this course took me on. The instructor, Namita Gupta Wiggers, has a profound ability to inspire generative questions and dialogue concerning what we consider and how we present craft. The insights into curating were valuable to me, both as an artist and as a past curator. I'll certainly never look at or put together an exhibition the same as before. So making some real change with those classes. For JRACraft Day, I'm actually going to call on one of the 2 amazing people who make JRACraft Day possible to talk a little bit about how well we did last year. JG, are you here? There you are. Go for it.
Sure. So JRACraft Day last year, the 17th edition, was the most successful we've ever had. You can see some of the information here about it. Most attendees, that's people through the door, most sponsorships, people who support admission to the event free, our highest earnings ever. We broke our previous record by a fair bit, I will say that. It was a very exciting day. Everybody had a great time. The artists, I think, all felt very happy about it, and certainly all the visitors did. And it was, as I always say, great for holiday shopping. So we are going to talk a little bit later about this year's JRACraft Day, but I promise you it's going to be just as fun and just as exciting as last year.
If not more. I'm setting the bar higher, JG.
Yes, I know. Would love it to be more. And I think there's another slide, isn't there?
Yes, there is a slide with some great feedback.
There we go. And there you go with the feedback. This is from someone who came to be at the show as an artist. But, I will tell you that one of the really gratifying things about the show, and this is about the artists really who come to the show, is the number of people who have come up to us and say how wonderful the artists are and how great the work is. It happened again and again last year. And it was, as I said, the most gratifying thing, because we really do the show as much for the artists as anything else, probably more for the artists, to give them the chance to have this showcase and hopefully to make some money too. And so we were really excited about that.
So as JG said, it's one of our efforts that's most important for us at JRACraft is to provide support for artists. So this is the total amount of support that we were able to give artists this year. Part of that is the $30,000 that artists made at JRACraft Day. Other sources of support are pictured here. As I said, the Distinguished Artist Series, we have 3 artists that we bring in to DC every year, and they receive an honorarium of $1,000 for giving their demos and free online talks. We also give the Chrysalis Award. It's a $5,000 unrestricted award for an emerging artist, which last year went to Chris Rumman. And last year we renewed an award that we had been giving previously at the American Craft Council sale in Baltimore for excellence in innovation. And last year we chose Grace Brogan for that award. So it's something that we feel is very important to JRACraft to support artists. And we were very successful in doing that last year. Next, please. And Grace wrote a really nice email afterwards mentioning, as someone early in my professional career as a contemporary craft artist, receiving this award was both an incredible honor and a powerful affirmation of my work as an artist. Your generous support not only provides a critical financial boost, but also gave me the recognition and encouragement to keep creating in ways that expand on tradition. So which underlines the fact that not only is it important to give the money, but also to kind of highlight and point out people who are doing great work at the beginning of their careers. Next slide, please. We also provide support for institutions and publications, and last year the support went entirely to the Renwick, $50,000 to be one of the sponsors of their exhibition State Fairs, Growing American Craft, for which they produced a beautiful catalog. And over on the right, you can see some of the JRA team. See if you can find us. Which man is in there. Inga's in there, I'm in there, along with some of our board members at the opening, which is fabulous. And we hope that that museum opens up soon so that many more people can go see the exhibition. Next slide, please. Which brings me to our financial overview, which I've simplified quite a bit here, but in the end, our major streams of revenue come in from our members. Thank you, members. Our large fundraiser, which is Spring Craft Weekend. We get some income from the programs that we have through program fees and also through domestic trips. And then our international trips are especially for our membership level, which is the caucus leadership level. And the large number that you can see there was because the South Africa trip had a large number of people, and that meant we had a lot of money in for that trip. And we also get grants and other kinds of individual contributions. So that's our income for the last fiscal year. Under that, you can see is the expenses, how our money went out. And part of that is from Spring Craft Weekend, from the programs and trips we do, but also the awards. Those are the expenses for the caucus programs and the trip. And our general operating expenses at the bottom there. So total expenses were $550. We were, in fact, under about $10,000 last year, but we had budgeted since I came on new last year, and we knew that it was going to take me a while to get everything up and running. The board built in a little bit of extra space for me. We took some money from the funds that we have. We knew we were going to be and planned on being about. We budgeted for being under about 30K. So in fact, we're able to close that gap significantly. So that negative 10K represents an actually much better result than we were even hoping for. Moving on. I thought it might be interesting to show you some of these pie charts, some graphs that kind of give you a sense of how those numbers play out in proportion to each other. You can see that the caucus program and trip income takes up a large chunk, and then Spring Craft Weekend brings in a large chunk as well. And then the other amounts are kind of head down from there. And if you go into the next slide, Inga, these are the expenses. So the caucus expenses in this case kind of are almost equal to the income, and we get the general operating expenses, the awards, Spring Craft Weekend, JRACraft Day, and our expenses for programs. If you go to the next slide, you can see the net of all of these programs. So that is the income minus the expenses. So we have an overall positive on our membership and a significant overall positive on Spring Craft Weekend. Our programs, for the most part, largely pay for themselves. They break even or more. JRACraft Day, it looks small, but it's actually quite a bit larger in terms of total income. We just give a significant portion of the money that we take in goes to, of course, the artists who are selling things. So that's what's left over when we have given those profits to the artists. Caucus programs and trips just about broke even this year. And then individual contributions and grants make up the other sort of positive income amounts. The large expenditures, of course, are awards, so giving money away, and then our general operating funds. Can you move on to the next slide? Okay, I think this is, we've got our first big reveal of the evening, and it's Amanda's turn.
Hi again, and thank you, Jennifer, for that review. That was really well presented. I really appreciate the work that you've put in this year to come up with all those slides and very clearly. So we appreciate that. I am pleased tonight to talk about and announce the winner of the Chrysalis Award. This annual award, to be given to an outstanding emerging artist this year in mixed media, had over 240 submissions, and that was a record. Curator and board member Caroline Kipp could not be here tonight. She had a previous engagement, but she oversees this award for us, and we really appreciate the work that she has done in order to do that, and also the work of Inga, who did an astounding job managing all those applications that came in and organizing them. Caroline also gathered together with Jennifer an incredible juror panel. We were pleased to invite, and I hope I'm not butchering anybody's names tonight, Corey Pemberton, the artist and director of Crafting the Future, based in Los Angeles, Jennifer Cherzanowski, the executive director of Fuller Craft Museum in Boston, Perry Price, the executive director of Haystack School of Craft in Maine. They were really amazing. It was really a big job, as you can imagine, with so many applications. Next slide, please. And now, honorable mention for the Chrysalis Award was given to Sanaa Brown Bowers, a Baltimore-based self-taught artist whose paintings and pop culture sculptures are combined with found objects that reflect their family, their life, and their experience of the cultural world and Black history. Congratulations.
Woo, thank you, thank you, thank you.
We're so glad you're here. You can, if you want to show us your face, we'd be delighted. But if not, we just want to tell you that the work was really amazing.
Thank
And it was
you.
you're
I
so
love you
welcome.
guys. Thank you so much. Woo, 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 woo.
You're so welcome. Being 2 out of 240 plus is really pretty something, is something to celebrate. The 2025 Chrysalis Award winner is Alvera Villa, an outstanding new artist from New York area, crafting a variety of objects in ceramics combined with an array of other media, especially brooms, to create pieces that are infused with spirituality and magic. An MFA student at Alfred in upstate New York, the artist offers in their practice a feminine power that blasts magical reconnection and protection to her work, themed in healing, domesticity, their ancestors, and the culture. And we are just so happy to have been able to present this award to this artist who is really about as emerging as can be. And that for us, that is really something else. And we're always delighted to sort of foster and incubate as many of artists as we can. So thank you very much. And now moving back to Jennifer.
Inga, can you move on to the next slide? This is actually still you, Amanda.
Apologize, everybody. That is completely my fault. So we're moving on. We're moving forward, and we're going into 2026. You've seen an amazing array of programming and initiatives, and now it's time to talk about what we're going to do in the future. We spent a lot of time this year, board members Ann Swanson and J.G. Harrington, who you just met, worked to update our articles of incorporation and our bylaws, which really needed updating. It was a huge amount of work, and thank you. And because of that, we're now moving forward to update as many other board policies and directives that we can manage in this year. And I think that will be a real plus for the organization. We should be all set by the time that's done. Membership recruitment is a massive, really focus for us this year. Thanks both to Jennifer and to membership committee chair Laura Petrovich-Cheney, who is heading up the current committee. And together with our JRA staff, they're actively working on plans to reach lapsed and lost members and to recruit new members. So stay tuned. We've got a lot on that coming, and I'm sure you're going to get messages through email and social media about that. Jennifer has worked really, really hard in 2025 to make sure that by 2026, we have a fundraising plan in place to complement her new FY26 budget. She'll be using this plan to energize the board to increase donations to the organization. And our latest grant from the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities, which is for over $90,000, is a testament and a great example of the work she's already done so far on this effort and its rewards for us. So thank you, Jennifer, for that. In terms of expansion of audience, you know, the craft field continues to grow, and craft has been taken so much more seriously in a sense, and by wider audiences really since the pandemic. So we are also now really focused very much on a national, a national organization, and we're working to deepen the focus of JRA across the country and to as many new audience members as we can. So we hope you'll stay along for that ride. Next slide, please. Got to get my paper here. Thank you. So partnerships, of course, are a really important part of moving forward. We couldn't do the work that we have to do without partnerships. And the Distinguished Artist Series is really is a great example of why partnerships matter so much. Because without venues to host all of our programs in, for those of you who may not know, JRA has a small office in Washington, D.C., and not one that we can use for big events, and so, or even small events. And so we rely on these partnerships to be able to host exciting programs. And you see a couple up here on the slide: District Clay, Viz Arts, and the Compass Arts Center, which is a new center in Kensington, Maryland. And we've had many, many other venues in the years behind us and the years, I'm sure, to come. And so we're very grateful for all those partnerships and allowing us to put on such an amazing series each year. I think many of you on this call probably understand that Craft in America has a new initiative for 2026 called Handwork. It's going to showcase the power of the handmade. And of course, next year is our 250th birthday in the United States. And I think handwork is going to help show how craft artists in particular are helping us celebrate that anniversary. The initiative began last week in Philadelphia, and a very appropriate city to begin. And they launched, of course, as the same week as the Philadelphia Craft Show. And this week they're celebrating with the Craft Now program that's happening in Philadelphia this week. The year-long campaign to showcase fine craft in our country will end very happily at the Renwick Gallery in late 2026. And we're very excited about that. We are a featured participant in this endeavor. We're going to be offering online classes through this partnership, and I'm sure there'll be other things that we'll be announcing throughout the year. The American Craft Council, many of you know all about that. Jennifer's already mentioned that this year we gave an award to Grace Brogan at the Craft Made Show in Baltimore. Many JRA members, many of you on this call, are also ACC members, some even serving on their board. And we look forward to partnering with them to offer that award again in 2026. And I'm sure, again, many other events. So that's a partnership we always welcome. This year we have a reignited partnership with American University and the Katzen Art Center. We had long ago presented the museum with some cases to fill with members' work, JRA members' artwork, and we are sort of reinstituting that partnership this year, and we're going to be putting in some pieces into those cases for their quote-unquote lobby area. The initiative took a back seat during COVID, but we're back on track. We're looking forward to providing member works in these cases in 2026. And if any of you in the call are interested in doing that with us, please get in touch with us. We'd love to have anybody who's interested join us on that committee, whether you're currently a JRA member or not. And lastly, but by no means least, Tim Tate is working with the African American Craft Alliance, and that's going to be a really exciting partnership. And I believe that in his presentation coming up, that he's going to talk about that. So over to Tim.
We wanted to make sure last year that we took a look at how we were doing programs. We decided how to organize it a little bit better, so it's not like an explosion of things and overwhelming the staff. It seemed to work very well that way. One of the first things we're going to be doing is we will be partnering with the African American Craft Alliance. That was a particularly good one. I don't know if you know Diane Njai, who's also on our board, who was the curator of the American Pavilion at the Dakar International, also a consultant to the American Art Museum, the African American Art Museum, and the Folklife Festival. So we contacted them, and our very first time we're going to go, we're going to meet at the African American Museum in January, and we're going to be there after it closes, if it ever opens again. And I can't worry about that. So we're going to assume it's going to open again. And when it does, we'll go after hours, and the senior curator in charge of all the curators is joining us, and they're going to take us on a personal tour of the African American Museum, and we're going to do it with the African American Craft Association. So the two of us are going to join, and we're going to try to have two of those joint meetings like as a partnership in programming per year. So that should be our very first one, and we already have possible plans for the next. Okay, let's see what we got. Distinguished artist is Margarita Cabrera.
Yes, that should be a really interesting program. Margarita is one of the artists featured in the Renwick State Fairs. We also had a program with Shea Bishop, who so we worked with the Renwick, partnered with them also on bringing their artists to DC and featuring them in a demo.
Perfect. The next down there is the caucus trip to Baltimore. We're going to be up there for 2 or 3 days. We're going to have a lot of access to American Craft Council board members, and also with different artists. We have many of us are crossing over between American Craft Council and the James Renwick Alliance, and we are going to further that partnership as much as we possibly can in a nice, orderly way for both parties to gain. So I think that can only help us. All these partnerships that we do certainly behoove everybody. It's not just for our benefit, it's for the other groups' benefits as well. Trip to Vietnam and Cambodia, partnership with Peters Valley. It's nice to see we're partnering with Peters Valley because I love them, and it's an unusual thing to partner with them on this, but this one is the one I would die to go on. Can you tell us about it, Jennifer?
Well, Kristen Muller, who is actually going to be leading it, is here and may not be ready to talk. Kristen, do you want to talk about this?
Sure.
Kristen's on our board, which is how this happened.
Hi, everybody. No, this is very exciting. We've been working with Distant Horizons since 2019 on our travel program, and they're just fabulous. They used to run the programs for the Smithsonian Kreeger Gallery, and they have 35-year history. So we are going to Vietnam and Cambodia, and we're almost full. We have like 3 spaces left on the trip. And if you're interested, we are sharing. So it helps fundraise for JRA and for Peters Valley. So if you're interested, please let us know. Like, contact Jen or contact me.
And there's a link in the chat too. You can just click right on. Thank you.
It's
Kristen.
great. Yeah. So it is enrolled and it is going. So join us if you will. We have 4 people from the JRA attending. So very excited about it.
All right. I did meet with the DC Commission all day and had quite a long talk with them about JRA and a lot of other things. We'll talk on that later, Jennifer. I just want to mention to you before I forgot. Also, Laura Petrovic and Jennifer and I have decided we're going to meet in January to bring membership and program in a much closer association. We bring more members when we have better programs. We do better programs when we decide what members we want. So we're going to try to pull that together to tighten up that link between the three of us. So just letting people know that. March 10th. Now, this was really great. Linda Green knows Mobilia, and Mobilia in March is having a Joyce Scott, extravaganza of jewelry. So we love Joyce. Spent last week with her, and I think that everybody here will want to go on that. This is not an in-person. This is an online. I know that that Susan will be there. Distinguished Artist Series with Hillary Waters Fail. Okay.
I did want to say for a few words about Hillary Waters Fail,
Sure.
since Rebecca is not with us. I was lucky enough to exhibit work of Hillary's 10 years ago. She is an extraordinary embroidery artist who works mostly with natural pieces. She embroiders leaves and many other sort of natural items. She's really produces spectacular, really spectacular prints from the work that she does, but she also creates sort of little I don't know, miniatures. She's just really a fantastic and very innovative embroidery artist. And I think people are going to be shocked at some of the level of her work. And I hope that everybody will see more of the work as you go through the year. You'll see it on social media, of course, and in
Wonderful.
other messages. She's great. And I think it's going to be a really exciting weekend as well.
Spring Craft Weekend, probably none of you here have heard of it, but if you're the one person left who hasn't come across this, it is our big weekend. It is our big fundraiser. It is the reason that this group existed for so many years. We have lots of reasons, but that's certainly a favorite among many of the people that have been with them. This will be my 25th or 6th Spring Craft Weekend. So I'm thrilled to death with this. Caucus Day at Learning at the Inova Art Center. Jennifer.
Yes, this is another one of our the special trips or programs that we have planned for our leadership group of members. And this one will explore the connection between craft and arts and healing.
Excellent. All right. And where is our beautiful, for Chris Malone, Christina Wadler? You have anything to say?
I have to tell you, I just absolutely love Chris Malone. If anyone can go online and see his Instagram page, or you know what, I don't usually remember to go to websites. I tend to use Instagram for artists because they like Instagram. So, but if anyone could go and look and see how detailed his work is. He works with ceramic. He's actually started out years and years and years ago doing dolls, and they were fantastic. And they always had some ceramic in it, the face and that sort of thing. But it was always very textured, more than just fabric. And so then he got into ceramic. I'm not sure how many years ago. I'd say maybe, I don't know, 12 to 15 years ago, and or maybe more. But he is so detailed. I absolutely love his work. And I have to tell you, some people are taken back by the eyes in his figures. And you know that everyone has different things that turn them on and or make them feel uncomfortable. I love the eyes.
Me too. Listen, I have videos looking at people and that drives them crazy. I love it.
I love it. So anyway, I'm very happy that he agreed to participate. He has never been one to want people in his space, in his studio. I tried to go about 20 years ago, and then again, maybe about 15 years ago. And he likes you to deal with his anyone whoever's representing him at the time. But he's very accommodating in terms of these type of things, and going to venues where he's being represented or whatever. In fact, he was at Strathmore. You remember he came and did a
Right.
talk there with the JRA folk there.
And thank you.
he won-
Perry also put into the chat the link to his website or his the virtual studio visit, the link to the registration for that. And thank you, David, for mentioning Chris Malone won the Best in Show for the 225 Creative Craft Council, which I think he did at Stratford.
Yes, that's right.
And-
That's right.
And also, Jennifer, thank you so much for that slide that shows how many people participate in a lot of these free and not free events. I mean, we are reaching a lot more people than we used to in the past. So it's lovely.
Okay.
So, as you might have seen that I had prefigured in my earlier comments, the 18th annual JRACraft Day is December 6th at the Women's Club of Chevy Chase, just off Connecticut Avenue, 10 to 5 p.m. in person, free admission, free parking. We think it's gonna be a great show again. We have 44 artists in all the craft media. 9 of them are completely new to the show. A lot of returning artists as well, and some people who have taken a hiatus and came back. A great mix of work in all price ranges, under $25 to a lot more. And we love the show. It's a great time, and it supports the artists and supports JRACraft. And we hope everybody will come. I will also make a pitch, though, for 2 things. One is that free admission is supported by sponsors. We ask people to pay $100 to sponsor the show, and you get credit in the program and at the event itself and on the website. But it does cover the cost we pay for the room, because the room is not free. The second thing is we're always looking for volunteers, do all sorts of things, set up and take down, greet people at the door, help the artists when they need help during the day, give them water, because it's thirsty work being an artist. And so if you'd like to volunteer, please put your name and contact information, or your name, just your name, because we know how to find you, in the chat. And if you'd like to sponsor, I'll do that as well. And we will appreciate any help we get, but we also appreciate everybody who comes, and we hope you put it in your calendar and show up and see the wonderful work and do some holiday shopping, or, as I said, some shopping for yourself. Thanks.
JG, can I ask a quick question? Last year, and I've only been on the board about a year or so. Last year, I recall we had an email as to when we could volunteer on that day. I don't recall the sponsorship email, but does the email also include, if you'd like to sponsor, do such and such?
We will absolutely include that information in the
Okay.
email. And if you go to the website, jracraftday.org, there's also a link to be a sponsor there.
All right. Thanks, JG. Did we cover everything you wanted to cover?
I think we're covered.
Okay, great. So let's move to the next slide, which is really our big Spring Craft weekend, which Tim sort of announced. I am going to start us off. This is just some images from last year, which was amazing. We have many of the people on our committee on the far left there. It includes, if you haven't been, it includes talks by our special honorees. We have Zenobia Bailey up there giving a talk, and lots of fun events. And you can see that we last year also had somebody juggling fire. So I wanted to, at this point, actually talk about our honorees. This year we have 5 honorees for Spring Craft Weekend this year. Inga, can you move to the next slide? So the first one is Piper Shepherd. Piper Shepherd is based in Baltimore, so a fairly local artist with really a national and international reputation. You can see on the right, that's one of her amazing architecturally scaled works. She also creates works on a much smaller scale. She began teaching at the Fiber Department at MICA at the Maryland Institute College of Art in 1994. She recently retired, and all through this time, she has really explored fiber weaving lace through history and through the patterns, consider in a way that's very interesting, that has to do with cutting out the patterns often of a solid sheet of textile / paper. So amazing work by Piper Shepherd with textiles. Can you move to the next one? Really excited that we're celebrating Winnie Owens Hart, who's another DC-based artist. Has been for years a very important artist working with ceramics. She's a graduate of the University of Arts in Philadelphia and Howard University, and taught at Howard University for many, many years. Really well known for blending traditional African pottery techniques with contemporary ceramics. Very early on in the 1970s, went to Western Africa to learn many techniques and brought them back over to the United States. So very excited. She called herself, I was reading a biography of hers, and when she was talking about growing up, she called herself a Smithsonian baby. So talked about how important it was for her living in the DC area, going to the Smithsonian and learning about art. One of probably the only way in which I could say that I'm similar to her, in that I remember growing up and going to the Smithsonian as a child too. So I just think it's particularly wonderful that we can, as the James Renwick Alliance, in our connection with the Renwick Gallery, celebrate Winnie. That is in fact her piece that's in the Renwick on the right. We also have the artist KK Cribbs, who I believe is in fact on this call. Hey KK, if you're on the call. Hi. We are so excited to be celebrating you. There you are. Hey.
I am so humbled and honored. I can't thank you enough. And I didn't know much about the spring weekend, so now I'm even more excited because I'm going to meet all these cool people.
You are. You're gonna meet all the people. We're gonna we have a series of different events, but yes, we're excited to hear you talk about your work, which you can see in one example of there. Just gorgeous. Kiki, who I got to write an essay about, so now I'm gonna about her work, and the reverse painted enamels, which in person are just stunning, and these gorgeous mosaic pieces. So many beautiful works in glass. So we're delighted to be able to honor her this year.
Can I say something real quick, Jennifer?
Sure.
We've been trying to get KK here for 15 years, girl. She and I have been working on this forever, and I'm so happy it worked out. Tell your daughter I say hello. Thank her for coming to my time up at Tacoma, and I cannot wait for you and I to sit and hug and talk.
Absolutely, Tim. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Looking forward to it.
Great. Next, we also, in addition to Mass Medium, we also voted on 2 distinguished educators. So we're including both categories this year. And the first distinguished educator is Tom Lozier, who served as the head of the wood furniture at UW-Madison from 1991 until 2020, and who is really well known, not only for his amazing works in wood, and you can see I included that bench because they have those benches at the Renwick that you can sit on, so it might be familiar to you, but also just in all the nominations of him and people we talked to mentioned his amazing role as a mentor. And how important that is within the craft community to have artists who serve in that capacity and really focus on the next generation. So Tom Lozier is an artist nominated who will be receiving the award as Distinguished Educator. And let's go to the last one. And the last one, we also have distinguished educators who are educating in other who are not necessarily teaching how to make things, but sort of spread craft, the education about craft in other ways. And I think particularly apt, we have Bruce Pepich, who was who worked honestly at and made famous, really brought the Racine Museum in Racine, Wisconsin, to the position of eminence it is today. as a museum that collects many things, but is a real major force in contemporary craft. He began working at that museum in 1974, and just recently in 2025, retired. So we think it's a great time to celebrate the many years he spent working there, leading that museum as executive director, which he started in 1981, and growing that collection, which started at 326 pieces and is now over 11,000 works. So those are our 5 honorees this year, and I'm going to turn this over to Janice Berger, who is going to talk a little bit more about our plans for Springcraft Weekend in April.
Okay, and I want to thank Tim again for the big plug for Springcraft Weekend of how many years, Tim? 20?
25 is
25 for you. Thanks. Anyway, everybody should get ready and get set and grab your calendars and mark down the dates Saturday and Sunday, April 25th and 26th for the 2026 JRA Springcraft Weekend. Our venues have been chosen, and as you just heard, our fabulous honorees have been announced. It'll be a magical evening. In fact, this year's theme is Making Magic, Handmade Alchemy. You're in for a treat with a couple of tweaks at this weekend experience where materials will transform and process take center stage, and we hope you're intrigued. Your save the date will arrive in and around mid-December, and we hope you will come for the fun and the community that JRA is known for, and in addition, your support will in turn will affects the many JRA projects that you heard of that support artists, museums, and many others who make up the world of craft so they can continue to make magic and transform materials into the art that we all love and we all enjoy. So get the date down, September 25th and 26th.
And I think that wraps up all of the presentations. So we wanted to leave, we've got about 5 minutes left. We wanted to leave a little bit of time. If anybody had any questions, either about the things that happened last year, the things that we're planning for next year, you can put them in the chat, certainly, or raise your hand if you want to say something, or you could probably just unmute yourself and talk if you'd like. Both Amanda and I are excited to answer any questions you might have about JRA and what we're doing these days.
No questions? Well, until questions come, I just want to take one more minute to thank, we've tried to sort of show you the showcase, so to speak. And again, I would like to iterate a thank you to everybody on the current board, prior boards, everyone who's worked for us for JRA, and of course, a special thanks to the staff who took a lot of time to make the presentation tonight. It was really a delight to have everybody on the call. And maybe there's got to be 1 or 2 questions out there. So we're still here for you if you've got them.
Or maybe everyone's just blown away by all the amazing things next year.
No.
Je-
Should we give everybody another minute to unmute?
Jennifer, my favorite slide was when you showed how many people we actually reached, how many people participate in our events. And I think I want to say, if that number goes up every year, I'm going to be thrilled.
We're aiming for it, Tim, and I have to thank everyone who is here, including our board members and the staff who's helping us sort of stretch and reach new places and new audiences. I'm putting my email in the chat if anybody wants to reach out to me personally with some questions that occur to you later. But I see so many people I know and I'm looking forward to working with over the course of the next year. And I also see some new people, so I'd love to hear from you too. If you have any questions or want to get involved on any level, we are looking for volunteers for all kinds of things, and would love to get you involved and in the community if that's of interest. And some of you are already doing a lot. I know I'm looking at several of you who I know are already doing quite a bit. So much appreciation for all that you do.
All right, no more questions. So we are going to do the perfect thing, which is to end right on the hour. Again, thank you all for your contributions to our organization. You know, when we get to present something like an annual meeting where you really take time to think about all the things that have happened in the last year, as well as all the things that you're planning on working on in the year ahead, it's really quite overwhelming how terrific the JRACraft is, and we're really happy to have all of you in our circle. So thank you so much, and we look forward to hearing from you at any time in the next year, and look forward to seeing you one way or the other, in person or online, at our events. And as Jennifer said, our emails and doors are always open. So thank you all.